Currently at Takwa, we visited a number of mining operators who use a method called vat leaching. Here, the typical one they use is a column type of mine. So it's like a dam where they mix the raw material with some chemicals and water. So the chemical they use here is cyanide. In that process, we know that cyanide is dangerous for the environment and for people. And so we discovered this last year, knowing that a lot of them are in the system. So EPA has sat down to come up with some guidelines to help us to regulate them. It's, as we speak, illegal. This is a mining practice that is not allowed in Ghana. But EPA, from last year, from our monitoring, we realized that it's so widespread in the country that banning will even be a problem for us because it's so widespread and very difficult to control them. So what we have decided to do, we have engaged they have an association, we have engaged the association leadership and explained to them that EPA will be regulating their activity to make sure that they do minimum impact on the environment through their process. So from today, we have agreed that the EPA will be regulating them. They are going to pay permits for processing. We are going for processing of the materials that they use to, or they get the good from their waste, how they deposit their waste and all of those processes, how they should even line the columns that they use for their processing, and all of that will be regulated by EPA. This will ensure that minimal impact is done to the environment. So that is where we are in our discussion with this group of people who are mining with the vat leaching method. So EPA will want to have, is planning to have a demonstration site for such a process because it's a new area for us in Ghana, so they can follow that process. We're going to train them in sustainable mining method or processing method that they are doing. They don't directly mine, but they use the mining waste from this normally called champagne, or the waste, the soil after they have mined from land and water. That is what they process. So we will go through that process with them, train them through our demonstration sites as well with them, and then we ensure that there's minimal impact on the environment. So if they fail to obtain permit for operation to come through the training that we want to provide for them, we take them through the law as usual. So as usual as anyone who violates our environmental conditions.